Can AEW keep these ticket sales going for venues and special events? And also, I have a huge Hangman Adam Page prediction.
Screw the script!
Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday. Another edition of the Top Turnbuckle Topic, which we'll get to in a few moments here. Sorry I didn't upload on Sunday. Like I said, been very busy with preparing to move. I likely might skip Sunday's video as well while we're unpacking everything once we move all the big stuff Friday. So bear with me. I have a big prediction for Hangman Adam Page that I'm going to save for the end of the video, so stick around for that. But let's get on to this video's top turnbuckle topic.
It's time to swoop, man. Mavericks got the scoop. It's the top turnbuckle topic.
I think the burning topic of the week this week, there's a lot of things, there's wrestlers that are going back to WWE like Big Cass. There's wrestlers that are rumored to be leaving companies as well. I could be talking about that, but the big thing that I want to talk about that I mentioned briefly at the beginning is the current momentum that AEW has heading into All In after we saw Kenny Omega win. AEW Dynamite last Wednesday drew its highest rating in nearly 2 years. Since 2024, which with the Beach Break special, it was almost, I want to say it was almost 800,000 on TV alone, I believe it was what the numbers were. That's not including Max numbers. They more than likely did well over 1 million, because everyone that I know watches on Max. I know a lot of you watch on Max, so all the AEW haters can cry all they want and say like, oh, it's only like 100,000 tops on Max. No, stop the bullshit. That's not true. And not only that, but this upcoming Dynamite tomorrow, they are bringing Dynamite to a 5,000 seat hall built into Fenway Park for tomorrow's Dynamite on the 15th. And I'm looking forward to that. And then after Omega winning the title, they saw a huge spike suddenly in ticket sales for All Out, for All In Wembley. And I think they did the right thing. I think the bigger ticket, the bigger draw for this year anyway, is in fact Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. I think the numbers were almost 2,000 tickets sold within 48 hours after Kenny Omega won. They now crossed over, I think, 27 or 8,000 tickets sold. They'll likely get over 30,000 by the end of the month. And then as they announce more matches, more tickets will be sold. I think there is a very good chance that they can hit 40,000 tickets sold by the end of it. However, I do think that after this year, they should take a break from Wembley. Sorry to all of you fans over there on that part of the world, but I do think that if they really want to execute on All In, I think it would be a monumental shift in the world of pro wrestling for fans all over the world if they capitalize on having All In at a different location every single year. They can do All In Mexico. I mean, look at the ticket sales for Grand Slam Mexico. It's nearly sold out already. I think that they could easily sell out a good venue in Mexico. I think that's what they should do next year. All in Mexico. Let me know down in the comments if you agree for All in Mexico, but they can do other places as well. Other places in North America. They could do one in Canada. That'd be cool. They could do one in California. They could do one in New York. You get the point. I think that's what they should do going forward with All In and not just keep going back to Wembley every other year. But this begs the question. Can Tony Khan and AEW keep this momentum up? Can they start slowly selling these venues that are mid-sized venues? I love these unique, smaller venues that they've been in for the last year and a half, 2 years. But I would love to see them sell out some venues that are, 5 to 10,000 seat venues. I think that would be a huge success for AEW. Let me know down in the comments what you think on that. Can AEW keep this momentum? That is the big question. That is the big topic that I have for you on this video. And then look at comparisons. I know this is a little bit older. I think this is about 2 days old, so I know the numbers aren't fully accurate anymore. But All In, over 28,000 tickets sold, so likely now they probably are pushing 30. $42 a seat, 7 weeks away, where SummerSlam, one of WWE's big four pay-per-views, or PLEs now, what they call it, which I think is fucking stupid, premium lame event, it is 3 weeks away. They have had longer build for it for Raw and SmackDown lately, and again, it's a show that's been around for 30 years, I want to say, probably longer now at this point. I can't remember the exact year that SummerSlam started, but you get the point. They have been around much longer, and look at that, 22,000 tickets sold per day, and most of those people are the 2-day events. They buy both tickets because it saves you money. I doubt hardly any of them are only going Saturday or Sunday. Majority of those fans, are going both days, and it's right in my backyard at US Bank Stadium. And I'm telling you right now, I dislike WWE as a product right now so bad that even though it's literally in my backyard almost, I'm not going to it. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to drop $76 for nosebleeds because, nosebleeds after fees and everything are going to be over $100. It's not worth it to me because that stadium holds over 70,000 fans and they haven't even sold 25,000 tickets for either day yet. They could be at that now. Again, this is a little bit older, but you get the point. Like, AEW's momentum from last year and so far this year in 2026, it is starting to be recognized. It isn't just opinion based like a lot of AEW haters want to keep, spewing from their mouths. No, this is factual stuff that you're seeing. 5,000 tickets almost sold for tomorrow's Dynamite. That's a lot for Dynamite. Grand Slam Mexico basically sold out already. All in, easily going to be over 30,000 tickets by the end of the month. Probably reach 40,000 by the time of the event. AEW is starting to sell a lot more tickets again, like they did in 2019 and 2020 when they were the hot topic, the hot commodity in the world of pro wrestling. The diehards like myself are the ones that stayed around long term, and I feel like they're starting to gain a new wave of new fans. Also in this video, a runner-up top turnbuckle topic now that I want to talk to you about is, Collision. I didn't really cover it on this channel because, again, I didn't make a video Sunday, but I just want to talk about one thing that happened on Collision. The way it opened with Hangman Adam Page coming out. We'll skip the gardening stuff, but we'll get on to him saying that he's a man of his word, and although it's not in ink, that he intends to be a man of his word and not turn on those words. You know what this makes me think of? I think long-term storytelling, you see Will Ospreay possibly win at Wembley. I really don't know at this point. Now Omega is champion. Rare face versus face. But long-term, are we going to see Hangman Adam Page go back on his words and turn into a massive heel again? Because we know he can do both. He does a great job being face or a heel. Maybe we see another edition of Hangman losing his mind and burning houses down again. Who knows? Maybe it goes after Will Ospreay's house. Let me know down below what you think on that. I have a big prediction long term that Hangman Adam Page is going to turn heel again. And it might be even more vicious than the first time he was heel against Swerve Strickland. Some other pro wrestling news now. Callum Newman calling out Will and Moxley over in Japan at the G1 Climax tournament in a backstage segment. You know that feud is just getting started between Will Ospreay and Callum. Maybe him and Callum go at it for the belt if Will Ospreay wins it at maybe one of the future pay-per-views later on this fall, maybe like Wrestle Dream. Let me know down below what you think on that. Full Gear was announced for Saturday, November 14th. Full Gear Phoenix. Love the sound of that. Phoenix. This is the same venue, I believe, that Darby Allin and Sting won the tag titles. So great venue, great crowd. Full Gear is going to have a great show for those people, and I'm excited for that show. We got news on Buddy. Looks like he's returning. The Devil signed the clearance. Hell stamped its approval. No more barriers, only timing. I really want to see him back. I think that the sky's the limit for him as a singles competitor. Maybe he joins the Death Riders, as I don't think that he's going to side with Brody King and Bandito personally. Maybe he attacks Brody King for abandoning him and finding a different tag partner, and we see that feud for a returning feud. Let me know down below how you would like to see Buddy utilized when he makes his return. All in all, I'm super excited for the remainder of summer. We've got a fun pay-per-view coming up for Redemption. Can't wait for that. I think it's going to slap harder than the guy who knocked out Jake Hager. It's the new We the People shirt that just dropped. hilarious. I'd add that in there as well, whoever made that. I think it's going to be a really good time. And then lastly on this shorter video, MLP Mayhem drops on Thursday on my AEW. Stu Grayson headlines against Jonathan Gresham for the interim Canadian Championship. I hope that Stu wins. I love Gresham and all, but Stu Grayson, he deserves his flowers to retain MLP Canadian Champion. And I love that it's the Canadian Championship and it's going to headline. And then the Women's Canadian Championship, I hope Giselle Shaw retains. And we got the Grizzled Young Vets are going to be there with Jesse Bieber and Johnny DeLucia. Johnny TV's going to be there. Johnny Canada, Johnny Maple. Drop down in the comments what you would call Johnny TV over in Canada. That's all I had on this video of Screw the Script. Again, short and sweet. I promise you they'll go back to longer videos once I am all settled into our new place. Let me know down below your thoughts on the top turnbuckle topic of tickets and seats being sold and the momentum that AEW has been on the last few months especially. What do you think on the Hangman stuff? Do you think he keeps his word or do you think he turns heel? As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.